To understand Fred Howard Romare Bearden, known as Romy to his family, you have to look at his upbringing. Bearden was born in September 1911 to an affluent family in Charlotte, North Carolina. His paternal great-grandfather was a prosperous business and landowner in Charlotte before the stock market crash left the family destitute. Bearden shuttled between Harlem and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania as a child, thanks to his mother, Bessie, who had lived there for a time. From a prosperous Black family in her own right, Bessie could pass for a white woman. Some thought she was Latin or Middle Eastern, but Bessie, like her son, refused to pass for anything but Black, though she wouldn't hesitate to play the advantage her light skin provided. Bessie met Howard, Bearden's father, in Atlantic City while she was staying there with a prominent Black family. She was a social butterfly, the it girl in Black society circles. She was charming, intelligent, woke for her time, and ambitious. After they married, the couple stayed with Bearden's paternal grandparents in Charlotte in the house where Bearden was born. After they married, the couple stayed with Bearden's paternal grandparents in Charlotte in the house where Bearden was born. But feeling the oppression of Jim Crow laws that included a curfew for Blacks, the increase of vigilantism by the Ku Klux Klan, legislation that kept the status quo of white superiority, and movies such as D.W. Griffith's The Birth of a Nation drove the family up north to Hell's Kitchen before migrating up to Harlem in New York City. Bearden was 4 years old at the time. It wasn't easy at first for the little family. Bessie and Howard moved around a lot and oftentimes had to leave Bearden with relatives in Charlotte, Pittsburgh, and Harlem. Howard found work on the railroad until World War I broke out. He was drafted, but he left the U.S. in 1917 for Canada. Bessie and her son joined Howard, and they lived in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, where Bessie worked for a bank while Howard worked for the railroad. They returned to the U.S. after the war ended in 1918 and resettled in Harlem with an 8-year-old Bearden. Bearden was seen as a gifted child. At the end of 6th grade, he was advanced to 8th grade. Though it's not clear why, Bearden returned to Pittsburgh, staying with his maternal grandparents who owned and ran a boarding house for Black steel workers. This exposure to Southern Blacks who migrated north for work would inspire his art.